Sydney, who was standing nearby listening, chimed in. Yes, I heard that Bob was married, but he never admitted it to me. Was Cindy jealous of Rita? We're about to read from the book and see what his mother and Rita herself had to say. Okay, so it says here, on another occasion, Cindy invited me over to lunch. We ate in the kitchen and finally got to meet her mother. I noticed when I came here the other day, I remarked to her, you tried to avoid me. I never tried to avoid you, she sputtered. Yes, you did. You left as soon as I came in. She looked frustrated. This is Sedella talking to Cindy's mother. To tell you the truth, she said, Cindy has a baby for your son, and yet he has Rita too. Well, I replied, Nesta married to Rita. What? She exclaimed. I didn't know that. I don't believe you. I shot back, because everything Nesta do come in at the newspaper. Sydney, who was standing nearby listening, chimed in. Yes, I heard that Bob was married, but he never admitted it to me. You didn't want to believe it. I mean, okay. Well, I said, that's Nesta, but he's married, and to Rita. Cindy's mother fumed and looked vexed. I don't mind having Bob's children, Cindy said coolly. I love children. I'd like to have about 10 of them. I'm going to go forward now. I'm going to get to the part here where his mother goes into an argument. There were other fusses too. One day, Cindy came to and asked me if I thought it was right for Nesta to lie to her. I asked her what he'd lied about, and she said she heard that he had bought Rita a brand new BMW for her birthday. Wait a minute, I thought you said 2 seconds ago that he never admitted it. So how were you able to hear that he bought Rita a BMW, but you don't believe that he's married to her? Convenience. She says, and here my VW is barely running, she added bitterly. I advised her not to quarrel about it because, after all, Rita and Nesta were man and wife with 3 children between them. But he lied to me, she fumed. How? I asked him if he bought Rita a car, and he said, the woman buy her own car. And that's a lie. I sighed. In such an argument, a mother had no use. Puss don't business in a dog fight. So that's his mother, because she was in between them, right? But this is Rita now. This is Rita speaking about what she thought was the conversation. At the time of the shooting, Sydney Breakspeare had just won 1976 Miss World title. I hadn't even known that Chris Baxwell had sponsored her to the contest, but Bob had and was a little more prepared for the eventuality of her winning. After she won, they'd been planning to do a movie to be called Beauty and the Beast. Photo up, Beauty and the Beast. So she arrived in Nassau. Remember, she was like, Bahamas, Trinidad, Tobago, England. So according to Rita, she comes to Nassau because they are supposed to be now having these photo ops because she's Miss World, right? I suppose they abandoned their plans to make the movie because I never heard of it again. She wouldn't dare stay where we were. Rita said she could have never. She wouldn't dare stay where we were, of course, but she came in from London and stayed in a hotel, and he would visit her there. Cindy and Cindy's mother, it was later revealed, had expectations that were never fulfilled. I guess, like any young girl, she wanted to get married and was acting on the premise that this would eventually happen. This is Rita saying that she heard to the grapevine, basically. Her mother asked Sadella Booker, why doesn't Bob get his divorce? So Rita is like what the other book is saying that they had this conversation with Cindy and Cindy's mother. First, what? I never know say Bob married. So why he not divorce? I'm married. Be good up, Miss World 1976 data. How can I think this? That's why the whole woman. Sorry. He promised Sydney that they were going to get married and he's still living with Rita. Bob. This sound like confusion. So me I go continue. Uh but moms just said, "Uh-oh, just stop there. Don't touch that line." Because although she was interested in Bob's different relationships and the girls that he would bring to see her, she always gave me that love and respect. This is a very interesting situation. Married or not, Bob then went into exile into England because they, after the shooting, it said they went to the Bahamas and they were in Chris Blackwell's house in the Bahamas. And after which time they didn't know what was going to happen. There was no real plans because they didn't plan to have to leave. So therefore, he decides, I'm going to England. Exodus, oh yeah, movement. But me no can't come with me, oh, oh. And so wherever Rita goes, that's where y'all gonna go. But y'all ain't coming with me. So it says here, uh, as for me, I couldn't stay in Nassau indefinitely, and there were the children to think of who had to go to school. So I brought them back to Jamaica to Bull Bay. But after such violence, I didn't seem safe. So let me go ahead now to the little jealousy part to answer the question, right? And according to so she goes to the mother. This is Sydney, as we read. Like, how come you never buy she car? How come you never buy me car to me now and put on she did on a BMW and all of them sitting there. So according to Rita, she says this. The day after I had decided to buy the house on the hill, because she wanted to move from Bull Bay, right? I drove up there in the BMW Bob bought me. I mean, shit, it coming like she answering this book because this book was written first. Sedella's book. So it coming like she answering Sedella's book in a kind of roundabout kind of way. So she said in the BMW Bob had bought me. So she said, I lied that Bob, me never buy me one a BMW. I Bob buy this. She says, I guess as a consolation when he became more friendly with Sydney. I think the people who were advising him, just like earlier in his career, Esther Anderson, what would have looked good for his image, Cindy would have made him more appealing to the masses. And he's crossing over. He's in Europe. He's on tour in all of these spaces. And you see how they say, "Oh, Beauty and the Beast." And I think there's actually a news article. I'm gonna look for that. So because of that, now she would have been more aesthetically pleasing. And we don't know. Maybe he's being pushed towards this direction so that he can cross over. You never know, right? She said, I looked around again and said to myself, no, no, she gone off into something else. So basically, she said that Bob bought her the car. Cindy was feeling a way that he didn't buy her a car, and she was in a putt putt. And the mother was like, "No, just stop it right there. Just stop it right there because Bob and Rita married, and you and Bob not married, and him not divorced. She for married you, so just done it right there. So just done it right there. So this is not beauty contest thing. Just done it right there. So." I'm putting 20 on 10. But yeah, that's the answer to the question. Based on what there feels like some competition. There may be some silent underneath the company. Oh wait, I got one more for you guys. How could I have skipped that? Oh my goodness, one more. They're like, Amuna, that's not enough evidence. I got a little bit more. One time, Cindy was staying with Nesta at my house in Miami when Rita suddenly phoned, bring, 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 to say that she was flying in with the children for a visit. Okay? Panicked, I did, Rita, come. Cindy wondered if she should leave, but I assured her that it was all right. Madabuka, what is this? So that Rita would not make a scene. Rita and Nesta were then living apart, she in Bull Bay and Nesta in 56 Hope Road. Plus, Rita had Ital on the side. First of all, let me just say, Ital on the side is hilarious only because it has a double meaning. They call the man Ital and then you put Ital food on the side. Anyway, although she was still then trying to hide him from Nesta, so mother just threw out Rita out of the class like Rita had no space for talk because Rita wound up and down with man when Bob left for her and gone to England with woman. How dare she? Right? Bun for bun. Easter bun everywhere, everywhere. Anyway, yet as soon as Rita arrived, Nesta left his bed with Cindy in it. That time Cindy know said she had number two, no, because as in people them come, you have to get up. What in the world kind of stuff was going on in 1970 odd? And Nesta left his bed with Cindy in it and slept with his children on the sofa or on the carpeted floor in the drawing room. Everyone was civilized and conversational at the breakfast and dinner table. So it wasn't no pulling on no hair and no beating up on what people want to see, right? She's saying it wasn't that. And if there was tension between the two women, the lawful wife, wife, I'm your wife, wife, right? And the beauty queen mistress, is interesting that she frames her in that way. I think for publicity, marketing, because why would she frame her in that way? It didn't show. But Cindy must have felt uncomfortable with the arrangement, especially since she had been left alone in Nesta's bedroom now that his wife, wait, especially since she had been left alone in Nesta's bed now that his wife and children were not under the same roof. So I it's not funny. Yo, so before Rita bring the phone, right? Bob go in there, go turn the lights down low. And she say, yes, Bob, you're gonna marry me. And them get off one car. Bring, you know, so Rita come in. Right, Bob just said, yeah, come off of me, man, come off of me. And Bob gone out there. Yeah, so one of the panels. So what you doing at grade 5, right? Anywho, I'm just having a little fun with it, y'all. Relax, relax, relax. So it says a day or so she departed, meaning Cindy, for she could see that while his children were present, out of respect for them, Nestor would not share his bed with her, especially not right under Rita's nose. This pretty much puts all that conversation to rest. I mean, the man had every opportunity to be like, this is deeper. Like I said, check out the video of his grandfather. This is not, he was seeing this before Rasta. His grandfather had over, according to his same mother, over a dozen women and 30 odd picnic. He impregnated three sisters, and they bore him 11 children, 9 survived. So he saw this from a very young man, a very young guy. Nestor was exposed to this type of behavior. And a behavior, I'm going to call it, because it caused confusion. And according to the story, all of his grandfather picked them, they play together, regardless of the mother. Sedella's own mother, on her 10th child, she died. She had 9 children, and on the 10th child, she died. She died when Sedella was 10. So again, if you're enjoying this, go ahead and tune in. Hopefully I answered the question. And trust me, there is more. So stay tuned, all right? Subscribe, like, share, and all of that. We talk